Hey folks, I want to do a quick update video to my Pick'Em Prelims, as the team I originally picked to go 0-3, Tyloo, is no longer going to be in the tournament. Of course, if you've been following the news here recently, it was announced that Bintet was not able to secure a visa to be able to go to E-League Boston, and so Tyloo was in a situation where they were going to be forced to use a stand-in to attend. The only option was to be Peacemaker, but apparently negotiations broke down between Peacemaker and Tyloo about using him at the major, and so with that, Tyloo has withdrawn from the tournament. And I don't want to comment too much on all of that drama, by the way, just because I feel like there's, you know, a he said situation kind of going on right now between Tyloo and Peacemaker, and it's really hard to know where the truth lies. I'm sure it's somewhere in the middle, and so I don't want to comment on it too much. Maybe as more information comes out, I'll do a separate video on the topic. But again, the point is, we know Tyloo's not going to be in the tournament, so I need to pick a new 0-3 team. Also, folks, if you did want to get my original Pick'em video where I kind of broke down why I picked FaZe to go 3-0, why I picked all these other teams to advance, be sure to check out the original Pick'em video for the prelims that I did. I'll post that in the description below. Also, I've done some preview content, particularly for the teams representing the Americas in this major. So I did a video really highlighting the teams Renegades, Misfits, Cloud9, Liquid, 100 Thieves, and SK. I've also done separate videos on Renegades and Misfits and 100 Thieves. So all that content can be found on the channel. I'll put that all in the description below if you want to get more informed on some of these Americas teams for the major. But now, without further ado, let's pick this new 0-3 team. So first up as a candidate to replace Tyloo, as originally why I picked Tyloo was mostly just because they were going to have to use Peacemaker, and I felt that was really going to hurt. They were going to be without their star Bintet, and so I was really kind of going in that direction, basically, on why they would go 0-3. But now we have Flash coming in as the replacement, so that is a likely candidate, right? I mean, this is a team that when they came on the scene, originally people were kind of excited because it was, you know, Karsa coming in, supposed to be this brilliant tactician. He's going to be the in-game leader of this team, and they have some firepower. They're bringing over Summer, formerly known as Fancy One, but, you know, changed his name to Summer. So you got this guy, you got Kaze, who's supposed to be this really sick opera coming from Malaysia. You know, they had a couple of the other, you know, people that were formerly on Tyloo on this team as well. And so there was a lot of hype behind this team, and they opened up the Asian minor for the PGL Krakow major with some big wins in the group stages against Signature and Renegades, 16-5, 16-6. They were on fire to start off, but then they immediately got 0-2 by Immunity and Tyloo and got knocked out of that minor and never really progressed into the major qualification process. And after that, you know, they did pretty well online against most teams in the Asian region at some different Asian events like the Extremes Land Asia Finals and, you know, different things like that. But typically we're going to get beat out by a team like Tyloo. They would occasionally be able to beat out teams like Boot Dreamscape, another team we've seen in an international event. But typically they'd lose to some of the other like bigger names like a Tyloo. And then later on they were getting smashed by Renegades. So, I mean, if you look at the most recent Asian minor, for example, they did get beat out by Renegades and Tyloo. And that's how come they weren't directly into this major, having to come in as a replacement team. Though they were able to beat teams like the, you know, the MVP from South Korea. And you know, they did beat Tainted Mind as well from the Aussie New Zealand scene. But yeah, it's still struggling. And then if you look at their most recent results, I mean, they were pretty bad. You know, at the Shanghai event, for example, in Star Ladder, they got bodied by Renegades 2-0. They did beat Havu from Finland, and they did have a somewhat competitive series against Virtus Pro, but they got smashed by Renegades. Wasn't even competitive. Then they go on to the China Top event, where they play AGO and Vegas Squadron. They get 0-2'd by both of these teams, and in 3 of the games, they got 3 rounds or less. And then the one map against AGO, they got 7. So, again, bodied. Absolutely bodied. And then we look at the CSGO Super League that they were playing here in early December, and they got beat up by Eclipse and Tyloo, and just were looking really rough. And this actually caused the team, by the way, to bench 2 of their players, Lovey and Karsa, to trial this Aeon guy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And they had a stand-in NOP, which I think was actually their manager or something like that. He had played in the past, but was basically acting as their manager, so was coming in basically as a stand-in. So they're having to recall Lovey and Karsa off the bench to come back to play this major. So this puts Flash in a really weird situation where you certainly could favor them to perhaps be the team that goes 0-3. So just kind of want to set that for context. But some other teams that have been kind of strong picks lately as we bring it up. for people has been Avangard and Quantum Bellator Fire, the two teams from the CIS minor. And if we're honest, neither of these teams has super impressive results in online play. Avangard has certainly been a bit more impressive than Quantum Bellator Fire, but outside of, doing some cool stuff at the CIS minor from the Quantum Bellator Fire side, they are a team that also looks like a candidate that would perhaps struggle here. Again, their online results aren't amazing. And again, outside of beating Spirit in the CIS minor and Prosto and Forza and having some decent series against Avangard, they really aren't a team that you know too much about. They rarely play against bigger name teams like some of the teams that are going to be in this major. So they're also a good candidate to pick here for 0-3. I didn't pick them, and I picked Tyloo originally because of the whole Peacemaker situation that Tyloo was going to be in. So it's basically, for me, Flash versus Quantum Bellator Fire. And I've actually been kind of thinking about this before I record this video, and I've actually really struggled to pick one because I think either one of these teams can go 0-3. I personally just think that maybe Flash has a little bit more overall firepower than Quantum Bellator Fire. That's kind of one of the things I've been debating as a possibility, mostly because I just really like, Summer. I think he is a pretty solid player on this Flash team. I certainly think Kaze has also been impressive at times. Attacker has certainly been impressive at times as well. So they have like a core 3 of fragging that can be pretty good. Or Quantum Bellator Fire, I know that Boomich on this team is actually really solid, but outside of that, yeah, you do see a couple other players who can step up and be good for this team, but I do wonder if maybe Flash has a little bit more overall firepower. Because outside of Boomich, the only other player in Quantum Bellator Fire that consistently seems to perform is Waterfalls. They have a couple other guys who does kind of good, like Jim Quad and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. Like, I've been debating this back and forth, but I think I will go ahead and pick QB Fire as my 0-3 team. I think there's a great chance it could be Flash given their recent poor results and the fact that they were benching players and bringing them back for this major. They could easily be the 0-3 team, but I'll go ahead and pick QB Fire. Again, if you want to check all my other content about the major, be sure to check the description below for links. And I'll also say this right before I leave. I have almost taken one of these teams off to bring in Misfits, actually, a couple of times to advance our other prelims. But I feel like fair is fair. I already made a video and already made my picks, and so I'm not going to change any other picks. I don't have to. I got forced to change my 0-3 pick, and that's the only reason why I'm doing it. And I'll just leave it at that. Thanks so much for checking this out. Please subscribe for more. Peace.